morning. I have gotten myself dressed, have my wits together a little bit more so we can actually chat about the day. I woke up around 7:45 and then scrolled on my phone for an hour while I was drinking my coffee, which I wish I hadn't done. It's not a great habit, but it's actually fine today because it's Thursday and I don't have any calls on my calendar or really anything like on my schedule other than getting a bunch of work done. So this is like a day in my life where I'm kind of directing my own day and I get to schedule it out how I want it. So I'm gonna take you along. We're gonna do a full day of eating. I'll put the macros on the screen of each meal and like the timing and stuff so we can dive into that a little bit deeper. Do a day in the life of an online fitness coach when she's just kind of working alone all day. But not actually alone because I have you here with me. I did have a cup of coffee and drank some of this already this morning, but I try to pair water with my coffee. I'm never gonna be the kind of person who waits till after breakfast to have coffee. Just will not be happening. So I had my first cup and now like the first thing I have after that is always my greens and creatine. There's not really a good place in my kitchen to set up where you can see me and what's going on the counter. It's one of the limitations maybe of this house. It's just not like a content creator friendly house so much. It's a cute little ranch that was built in the 70s and we love it, but it doesn't have like big white bright kitchen with like an island that I can set up on. So we're gonna do our best today and I'm sure it'll get better as I keep doing this because we only get better at things we practice. I surprise myself every time I say this, but the pina colada super greens are my favorite. Pina colada is not a flavor I typically go for, but they're so like sweet, but like subtle. It's like a gentle morning flavor. So a scoop of greens, and then I just do the unflavored creatine and I mix it with my greens because that way I remember to take it every morning, even when I'm not training, because creatine is one that you're gonna wanna take every day. The whole idea is to keep the extra stores of it up in your cells. So you just have to make sure you take it consistently. Oh, this guy needs a new battery. Okay, the whole team has moved into the office because I need to do some like pre-work work. Oh my gosh, look at this bird feeder. All those starlings just demolishing my bird seed. I mean, the starlings gotta eat too, but I really wanna be feeding the woodpeckers and the cardinals and the finches. But the starlings just, that'll scare them away for 2 seconds. Anyways, I have some like pre-work work I need to do while I'm drinking my greens. So pre-work work, I'm not in the mindset to like hammer out work yet, but I can answer some emails, get my to-do list organized, do a little journaling. It's like 9:15 right now, so I'll sit down and do this for a little bit, and then when I finish this, I will probably be ready for breakfast. It is 10 o'clock and I'm going to throw together some breakfast. The same breakfast that I make every day. I'm using the same pan I used yesterday. It has not been washed, but all I made in it was eggs. So if I make eggs in it again, that's fine, right? I don't know if you can hear the dishwasher running, but the dishwasher is running, so maybe you can hear that. We're experimenting here. Olive oil spray. I do not track that. Frozen spinach. And here's a hack for you. Take the plate you're gonna eat it off of and just kind of put it over the pan, leaving a little gap. It'll like steam. Luna! Is making breakfast playtime? Is it playtime? I don't know why she's so worked up. Why don't you want to play? Because you're looking for food? Yeah. Crazy girl. Crazy girl. I'm gonna do 1 whole egg and 200 grams of egg whites to get as much protein as I want in this meal. So the spinach is my vegetable component, and then I have my protein component, which is the egg whites. The fat component is gonna come from the egg yolk, and then I'm gonna have toast as my carb. So we're always looking for carb, protein, fat, veggie, and fiber at every meal. And hopefully today, if I do a good job, I'll be able to show you lots of examples of that and how I put that together. Why don't you just do whole eggs? You could do whole eggs, but to get the same amount of protein that I'm gonna get from the additional 200 grams of egg whites, you'd have to eat like 4 or 5, maybe 6, I have to do the math, whole eggs, which calorically and the amount of fat that you would get from whole eggs is just way higher than what I want for this meal. So to keep it within my macro targets, the 200 grams of egg whites is just like straight protein, and then the 1 whole egg mixed in there gives me the yolk and some fat and some nutrients from the yolk and the flavor of the yolk, and I mix it all together. And then macro ratio wise, that's really hard to say, it's much more appropriate for my goals for this meal. Playful. So playful at breakfast time. Oh, I don't want that toy. I don't want that toy. This is the bread. Nature's Own whole wheat bread. It's not special, it's not high protein bread, it's not low calorie bread. It just happens to be, and it's like relatively inexpensive at the grocery store. It happens to be 60 calories a slice, 3 grams of protein, 2 grams of fiber per slice. So like it's not a low calorie bread, but it is a lower calorie bread than some of the other bread you'll see. Here's what the plate looks like. The portion of protein is large. That's good, that's what we want. Something that we kind of have to get over as we start eating high protein is that the portions are just bigger. That is breakfast. I'll put the total macros on the screen. I'm gonna list all of the macros, the carbs, protein, and fat, but I don't really regulate my carbs and fat. I just hit a total calorie number and a total protein number, and then my carbs and fat kind of self-regulate just by having, you know, balanced meals like this. That's breakfast. Back in the office, lighting a little candle. I made myself a little half calf, second cup. And I need to hammer out some work. So today's work is mostly client program updates. So any clients whose program is turning over into a new phase next week, I'm going to just double check and make sure that their next phase is ready to go. So when I do that, let's see, who am I pulling up first? Hannah. When I do that, I'm pulling up her previous phase so I can see all of her performance and all of her progression through her last phase of programming. And then I can make sure that I build out her next phase of programming to be like a reasonable progression from the previous phase, with her goals in mind and her schedule and her like training program in mind. All of my client programs are built from scratch, individual for that client. So this kind of work and updating client programming is kind of the bulk of my computer work on Wednesdays and Thursdays, especially. I sit down and try and like get it all done in time for it to be ready for them for their next phase. That way the programming stays responsive to how this client is actually progressing and kind of what they tell me about their workouts, what they like, what they don't like, and also keeping them accountable for actually like continuing work towards their goals. And I also have a little to-do list of things I need to get done for the app, and that's what I'm going to try and hammer out over the next couple of hours. They're my little coworkers, just having their cutie little naps while I'm working. Okay, that took me like 3 hours, and now I need to go eat again. Okay, this will be my pre-workout meal because I'm gonna work out in like an hour, so I'll eat this, digest, and then do my workout. It is protein oatmeal, so I did, oh, I have it all sitting here. I did 30 grams of quick oats. The best protein powder flavor from Beam, in my opinion, by far, is the brown sugar oatmeal, especially when you put it in oatmeal, it's so good. And I do 2/3 of a scoop of this, which is 20 grams. A little bit of cinnamon, blueberries, and peanut butter on top. I'm gonna eat this, digest a little bit, and then I'll be well fueled for my workout. Pre-workout time. I like this much water in my pre-workout. Do the watermelon candy, and you can do 1 or 2 scoops, and I really want to be like super energized, so I'm gonna do like 1.5. I know you can't see the cup, but I just put it in the cup, okay? Okay. I usually just drink my pre-workout while I'm like mobilizing and warming up, and then by the time I get to my heavy sets, it's like kicked in, so let's go. Hello. Where's the other one? There she is. There she is. Hi guys, you can come outside. If I set this up like this, you can kind of see what I'm doing and on the counter, although you can also see the dirty dishes, so don't look at that. I just got back in for my workout and it's 5:30. Where did the day go? So I need to throw together some food because I'm starving. And I also want to run to Michael's before the sun goes down to get some embroidery thread that I need for my next project. So, or my current project, whatever. Throwing together quick food. I have a tuna packet. It is easy protein that I don't have to cook. Tuna in a bowl. Here come the dogs begging for tuna. Yummy tuna nibbles. I'm gonna make tuna salad using avocado as my fat. I'm also currently obsessed with the combination of avocado and Dijon mustard. So good. I am gonna weigh out my avocado because avocado is pretty calorie dense. It's great healthy fat. They're high fiber. Like, we wanna definitely include them in our diet, but they're just a little bit calorie dense. So they are gonna impact my total calorie intake. So that is 50 grams of avocado. Dijon mustard. Oh, and making a mess. Can I do anything without making a mess? The answer is no. No, I cannot. My husband can attest to that. And then I just kind of like mush it up. And I'm gonna eat it on some rice cakes. And then because I'm in a rush, I'm just gonna stand over the sink and eat it. Delicious. I made it to Michael's and I told myself that I can't sit down and start working on my little embroidery project until I get my workout from today posted on TikTok. So I'm sitting down to do that, having a LaCroix and some pretzels because I'm not really hungry. I just like to like munch on something while I'm working. So something, you know, a serving of pretzels is only 100 calories and then the LaCroix bubbly water. Oftentimes when I'm like, oh, I know I want to eat or drink something, but I'm not actually hungry. Bubbly water, it's hydrating, kind of fills up my stomach. Works for me. It's dinner time. What time is it? 8:12 p.m. and Andrew cooked dinner. Sweet, sweet man that he is. It's one of our staple meals. This is some not chicken, what is it? It's salmon that he like roasted in the oven. I guess if he baked it. Roast? Yeah. In the oven with like some seasoning on it and then some roasted green beans and then the baked potato just made in the microwave. And that's a balanced meal in itself because we have our carb and our veggie and then the salmon is the protein and the fat because salmon is a higher fatty fish. So, dinner. Mini drumstick, 110 calories. I'm still low on calories for the night, so I'm gonna eat something else, but I'm probably done recording, so I'll just like take a picture of it and put it at the end. So, good night. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Like, follow, do all the stuff you do on YouTube. I don't really know.